Hello, it is me, Pearl, from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others and in our external environment. And if you want to see change, you do need to shift and change the energy within. And hopefully we will be doing that today when we take a look at this energy. Normally I do this reading on Friday. I did not have a chance yesterday because my computer is finally back in order, which is why you're now watching probably a better quality version of this reading than I've been able to give you the last few weeks. But I just needed a break yesterday and took it. And so today we are going to just do this reading that we normally do, which is masculine energy, thinking, feeling, saying, doing, feminine energy, thinking, feeling, saying, doing. How can we create harmony? What is the happiness potential? We have the Tell Me Everything Animal Spirit cards that we use. We have actually Seed and Sickle deck today and a couple more oracles. So this might be a little bit longer than normal. And let's make it up for last time, I guess. So let's get into it. Top of the deck, overall headspace. Remember, you can look at this energy as the energy of another person. And of course, that's usually why you're here for a love reading. But you really get the most benefit out of it if you recognize this energy as your own energy within, and that this other person is just reflecting something back to you. And it gives you more control over the outcome, because in a scenario where you just sort of spectate and watch what someone's thinking, feeling, saying, and doing, but you don't actually change how you're moving or get any insight about your own life out of it, then it goes nowhere. You don't really shift anything. So think of this also as your own energy of the mind, the mental energy, the energy that projects what is within us out into the material. And the masculine energy we're seeing here has the Temperance card as the overall energy for this week. This is a positive thing. It is because the Temperance card carries with it peace and divine intervention. It's an alchemizing. It's exactly what I was talking about when I was doing the preparing for the live on the TikTok stream, which I will be downloading and posting to passes.com, so that if you want the full hangout session, if you end up getting a one card pull today at the end, you'll still be able to see your reading later on passes.com/Pearl's Prayers. The link is below. But what I was saying before is the way that the experience I had with my person yesterday is that my person did something that they always do. But the way that I responded to it was different. And I recognized that that was what was supposed to change. Not what my person did, but how I react. And that's all I can do, because I can't control that person's behavior. And so I alchemized what could have been a potentially downward spiral into an upswing, and finished the night with a bang, and rewatched the the House of Dragons with my sister, the last 2 episodes before the new one comes out on Sunday. I'm a firm believer everybody's going to start watching that now, because they didn't really watch the first season, and it's badass. It's really badass. So definitely watch it. But yeah, the last night ended on a high note, and that's what changed, or that's how there was an alchemy. What came in, what poured in, was changed inside of me, and what came out was filled with light. Now, if that's how I respond to my person this time, how is my person going to receive that versus when I would be overly emotional, upset, angry? I took a moment and I was like, what would it be like if this person was not in your life at all, and when they did things, you didn't experience a trigger? What would that be like? Would that be good? Can you do that mentally? Do you have to block them, or can you just mentally exist in a space where you know that the way that they act doesn't actually have to have any kind of control over you or power over you? unless you give it to them. That was a big moment. So something kind of major has happened where this masculine energy has learned how to transmute like the not so good feelings and turn them into more peaceful feelings. It doesn't mean you take something bad and you're just happy after. It means you take something that is making you not feel great and you change it and you learn from it, and then you sort of feel at peace. It's because the opposite in the Temperance card, the opposite isn't that you feel amazing joy. It's to not go back and forth in those extremes anymore that the Temperance card represents. Now, people will always associate this card with patience because that's an easy association to make. If you are no longer in like feeling tumultuous about when something is going to happen, you're at peace, you're content, you're in a state of acceptance. So that's why people will be like, oh, this is patience, but it doesn't just mean patience. The umbrella over her head represents the divine protection aspect because the original image has an angel as well. So this is also an angelic energy. The doves, and my sister and I were just talking about doves, actually. She was talking about mourning doves. But the doves are very significant too because it's like the work of the Holy Spirit, or the, you know, the spark of life, the creator, the supreme, whatever. It's like this energy, the masculine energy this week feels that. And I also think feels that the feminine has become peaceful and isn't afraid and isn't angry in such a way that the masculine would be unable to approach. That's where the masculine energy is this week. Feminine energy, where are you this week? Exactly what I said when I talked about channeling. I said when I channel messages, it's sort of like the Chariot card. I surrender to the divine I just say whatever comes to me. I don't filter it. It just comes out, and afterwards I'm like, oh shit, what she said, you know, like I'm not really paying attention. It's like I'm in an automatic a car that drives automatically. Why can't I think of words now? I'm thinking too hard. My ego is stepping in now. But the Chariot card for the feminine energy, this is also movement. It's funny, I put myself in a boat, like this stupid meme on TikTok, because my music is being released this week, which is a big important thing I wanted to mention. On Friday, my track, I don't know if you've heard, is going to be released, so everybody can hear it in full, and you can, you know, put it on in your car and drive around to it and feel like the shit, because that's the intention I have of that song. It's an empowering song. It's going to heal everybody with a Chiron and Leo placement who listens to that song will come out healed. Like, it's definitely my intention that you listen to that song and you realize how fucking cool you are. But it's coming out, and I have to just sort of surrender to that momentum of that being released. You can pre-save it. There's a link in my profile to do that. But I have to just let go of my ego, because my ego, I'll tell you right now, my ego is dissatisfied with the experience already. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. You don't have this. You don't have that. You can't even pay for your car. How are you? You can't even pay for your car. How are you going to drive your chariot? You know what I mean? Like, my ego is definitely like, you already failed before it's even been released. And I just have to surrender that and just know that what I made was something good, and that the people who are meant to hear it are going to hear it and love it and be changed and be at peace and be content in the Temperance energy. So it's interesting that we have the mind sort of at peace and the heart now able to surrender to that and just go with the flow. So this week in love and connection looks like going with the flow. There's balance also between the masculine and feminine energy, and they're working together as a team. The Sphinx is interesting because I was talking about being puzzled or confused. If you were with me earlier in the TikTok live, I was talking about how the actions that my person takes, the response I always have is confusion. And that the change I made is that I decided that I don't want to seek any connection where I feel confused. I want to have clear lines of communication. I don't even have a way, truthfully, to communicate to this person and say, why do you seem to think X, Y, and Z? Or are you talking about me? Or is this about someone else? Or I don't even have a way to do that. And so, because there's not even any way for me to communicate directly and ask that question, then I have to surrender. I have to be at peace to the fact that if I want a connection with someone who does not put me in a position of confusion, then I must not be able to be in a connection with this person at this time. Peace. And so I must move on in the Chariot energy. I must move on to the next phase, which I now know what direction I'm heading in. I'm heading away from confusion. So if I'm talking to somebody and I start to feel confused, and I say to them, hey, I'm feeling a little bit confused about what you mean by the statement, or I'm feeling a little unclear about what your intentions actually are because you said X, Y, and Z, but you're doing this, and so I just need some clarity there. If that person is not able to give me clarity, even if the clarity is, I don't know why I do this. And I think I think that is something I should look into, because I can tell that it's making you upset and uncomfortable, and that's not my intention. Because at least then I would know it's not your intention to do it and that you just don't even know. I don't know how long I would accept that. I would be like, okay, well, is there a way we could explore that or talk about it, or you could go explore and talk about that with a therapist before we try to have a connection, because I don't want to be in a state of confusion for the rest of my life with you. It's not cute. I'm not going to do it. Like, so can we, right? So, very interesting to be at peace in your mind and have your heart like charging forward, charging ahead, surrendering to the peace in your mind. But you have to be at peace to get peace. You're like, all I want is peace. All I want is peace. And I'm like, okay, then give yourself peace. No one gives you peace. You claim it. You claim it. You claim it in the midst of a storm. That's the only way to have peace no matter what's going on. If you can only have peace when things are peaceful, you'll have little peace in your life, because things are rarely peaceful. But you can always be peaceful. You can. And you can also allow yourself not to be at times too, because you're not perfect. And you're not meant to be perfect. That's the other meaning of the Temperance card. It's perfectly imperfect. Your whole purpose is to like learn. Think about children, okay? If you're a parent, or you're somebody who's been around children before and you've seen them at their different phases of experience, levels of experience, do babies who are transitioning into toddlers suddenly walk perfectly when they start walking, or do they like have to get a sense of what it's like to walk around in a flesh suit, right? They have to figure it out. And in order to figure it out, you fall over, you bump your head, you're like, oh, fuck, I have to stand up straight. I have to, I have to keep my head like this, aligned, or else my head's going to go forward. My whole body's going to follow it. And there's no way, like if you were just going to go play a video game right now, would you want to start on the hardest level to end the boss fight? Or do you want to start at the beginning where you have to run and jump and you fall off into the cliff 1,000 times first? Like, you want to start at the beginning. You want to figure out how to do things and acquire more mastery, and then it becomes easier, but then you get bored, right? And so then there's a new challenge, and that's just always going to be what's going on. Okay, so what's the underlying energy that is supporting the healing, peaceful temperance energy of the masculine? The Three of Swords. And this is the Three of Swords that doesn't hurt to look at for some reason for me. Even though there's quite a lot of physical pain going on. He's like bleeding tears. There's thorns everywhere. I mean, but for some reason when I look at it, I get the healing more from this than I do from other Three of Swords. And it's such a beautiful energy also. The Tarot of Mystical Moments is like gorgeous. Maybe a little too whimsical for some, but not to me. I really love it. So this Three of Swords energy is actually underlying this week. So, and it's the masculine who's hurt. the masculine who's wounded. Um, it's the separation, the healing of the separation. The Temperance is the fulfillment of the Lover's card also. It's like Archangel Michael vibes also, for those of you that may have an affinity for or connection to. Protected divine healing energy of the masculine heart, healing of the separation between the two of you, healing from the painful wounds of the past. That is the general energy of this connection this week. And for the feminine, the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups. Oh, also, you know what? We didn't even look. I didn't even show you that we can see the back of the Chariot card. And you can see that all of this past is crumbling as you move into the future. Like this all falls away. There's infinity here. And it just becomes the stuff that you build your new dreams with. And so that's the energy of this week. Everything from the past is crumbling away. You're heading into your future. And then this is what's underlying it. Everything you've ever hoped and dreamed. Ten of Cups. It's a beautiful energy. Behind it, we see that Temperance energy there. It's also the Fountain that's in the Ace of Cups. But we're meant to recall all those cards in this one card here. And all of that water, the emotion, meeting the land, meeting the material, the cosmic connection that you have here. Finally being able to embrace. And that is what heals you. Being patient and kind, surrendering to the love you feel in the connection. This is what heals you. Which is just beautiful. And we literally haven't even started the main part of the reading. I could just stop now and we could be like, okay, that sounds good. But we like details. Let's see what this person's actually thinking about us. Because, we're nosy. We're nosy. And we think we know. And we want to see if we know for sure. And one thing we learn is sometimes we do know more about how our own fears are coloring what we think this person is thinking about us. Does that make sense? Are you kidding me? Okay. What does this divine masculine energy think of the feminine energy right now? We have the Lover's card, which has one of the most interesting depictions of the lovers that I have seen. We've got the blue jay, which is a territorial kind of mean bird. This human girl, which is representing kind of a naive energy. And then we have this person in a costume wearing a top hat also, which is for me like crown energy. Butterflies here coming from this hairpiece that she has. That's transformation vibes for me. Their toes are touching, which I've never noticed before. We can't tell if she's pulling him towards her or if he's pulling away. We see this gesture here with this hand on her arm. And yeah, obviously I have TikTok here and YouTube here. That's why I keep doing it like this. By the way, if you're curious, like, what is she doing? Why is she doing like this? But so that's always an interesting thing to me. Does this person want me, or are they pushing me away? And that's exactly what this masculine energy is thinking. What's funny is, whenever this card used to come out in the past, I interpreted this as your person is in the blue jay suit. They're, pretending to be cold, pretending to be territorial, but they're not. And this is you, right? Not in this scenario. Divine masculine is actually thinking of himself as being naive and not knowing whether you actually want him to come or go. He is confused, which is exactly what happened for me mentally when my person did the thing my person always does, which is confuse me. So right now, what the masculine energy is thinking about this connection with the feminine energy is, I don't know if they want me to go or to stay, or I don't know. And I can't tell because we've been wearing masks for so long and hiding our feelings. And so, you know what? I think the revelation of the only way to not be confused is to ask is coming up for this masculine energy. What is divine feminine energy thinking of the masculine? Give me something. This is the Page of Pentacles. It doesn't have to be a lot. If you ask me, where are you at right now? I will gladly tell you where I'm at. I think you'll be pleased to know. I am open to a conversation with you. What I am not open to is opening the door myself. I've closed the door. It is not locked. You have to knock. When you knock on the door, I will open the door. And the reason that you have to knock is because I kept opening the door and going, hello? Is someone here? There's no one here. And I did that so many fucking... Hello? You here? Was there someone knocking? And sometimes there would be a pile of flaming shit on my doorstep that I would fucking step in. And that is not what I want to do anymore. So the door is closed, but it is not locked. It is not barred. There is not a no entry sign. There is not like a no vacancy sign. There's no one else inside except for me. You open the door, you knock on the door, you open it, and 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock, I will respond to you with words. And then you will hear the words and you will understand. And if you don't, you can ask me clarifying questions, and I will help you understand. Because if there's one thing I'm fucking good at, it's fucking talking. So just give me an opportunity to talk to you and I will. But come to the door. Come to the door. I'm not going to be the one to open it and stick my head out like an idiot. It's not going to happen. So that's what the divine feminine thinks of the masculine energy. If you want to talk, give me something to consider, because the Page of Pentacles, I have a real physical thing that I can actually consider. You know? So divine masculine, what are you feeling towards this divine feminine energy? Okay, King of Swords. I'm not. I'm not. I have cut off my feelings. I have cut them off. I have detached from my feelings because my thoughts are driving me crazy. This for me, this black bird, these dark thoughts. I am having all these dark thoughts. I don't know. I'm confused. And because of that, I can't really go into my feelings right now. It'll kill me. I am being cold. I am feeling like I need to come up with a plan or a strategy or something, because I don't want to lose this connection, because it means a lot to me. If the Temperance card and the Lovers card is here and the Three of Swords is here, then this would really, 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 really hurt me forever if I were to lose this forever. So I can't even feel that right now. I can't even feel that right now. If I feel that, I won't be able to even function. So I'm cutting myself off from my feelings. I'm not feeling, if I can possibly help it. Divine Feminine, what are you feeling right now? Strength card. The Strength card keeps coming out. It came out in the reading I did for TikTok. It's here now. It came out for me a couple of times just when I was pulling for myself. It's my card. I'm a Leo sun, and this is definitely a Leo energy, a fire energy. The way that divine feminine feels for this divine masculine is strongly. Strong feelings. But if you look at what's behind those feelings, you'll see fear. Because this is what it feels like to be in a connection with this divine masculine. Like, this, it seems like the feminine is just gentling this beast. But really what's happening is that she's having to control her own fear and anxiety about whether or not this masculine energy is actually just a devil. Somebody that is meant to keep her bound and codependent in a tortured state. That is the thing. Divine feminine is like, I want to feel these strong feelings for you, but the strongest feeling I have is that I'm just really afraid that you are going to hurt me, because you're going to continue to not show up with anything to offer that I would be able to actually accept. Divine masculine, what are you actually saying? What are you actually saying right now? I can't pick this up. There we go. Ten of Swords. Ugh, fucking TikTok. Validate the live. Yeah, I'm live, bitch. Suck an egg. Okay, Ten of Swords. This is this is like this fear that it's over. The divine feminine is looking so sad and defeated. And all these swords are coming towards her. They're actually needles, hairpins, I think. But they're all going towards her right now. The divine masculine is basically saying, like, in some cases, maybe even you betrayed me, but I feel like it's more just like I feel betrayed by my emotions, or I thought you loved me. I thought you loved me, and it seems like that's over. I do think that this masculine energy feels like you may have betrayed them in some way, which is a fucking laugh riot right now, but haha, funny, funny. Divine feminine, what are you saying to the masculine right now? You're saying, come and apologize to me, motherfucker. Come and apologize to me. With this, and it's about that friendly too. Does she look very friendly to you? This is a justice card. She's like, if you have something to say, come say it to me. Come and say it correct. Come to me and say it correct and apologize and do what is right. Do what is right. Is it hard to do what is right for you? Because if it is, then stay away from me, because I don't want to be with somebody who struggles with doing the right thing. I want to be with somebody who automatically does the right thing. Like a reflex. Because that's how I want to be. That's how I hope I am. So yeah, you need to come and apologize. You need to make this right. You need to do justice to this connection. You need to treat me right. And that's why this is a laugh riot to the feminine. I betrayed you? In what way? In what way? Literally just sitting here waiting for you to talk to me is betraying you? Okay. Cool story, bro. What is divine masculine actually doing? Yep, there it is. 5 of Swords. Can't think about this anymore, so I'm not going to think about it. Defeat. The energy of defeat. The energy of giving up. But this is a positive thing. This is why the Temperance card is here. If you stop trying to make something work and get it right in your head, and you start instead just feeling what your heart feels, and then letting your heart help you make decisions instead of your head, which is not good at it. It's only supposed to do part of the work, not all of the work, but it goes into overdrive, and you overthink to the point where you don't take action, and you just got to do it, man. This is the Nike card for me in some ways. Just do it. You just got to do it. So divine masculine is just kind of surrendering. He feels defeated. He's just kind of giving up and being like, fine, I'll walk away then. And divine feminine's like, okay. I mean, that's really not different than where we started. So bye, I guess. What do you want me to say? Like, I can't do anything to keep you here because I'm not doing anything to push you away. So I don't know what to tell you, man. But, you know, it's like they're having their own relationship in their head, which I can so relate to. And they're just doing that. And then you're kind of sitting on the sidelines watching and being like, am I included in this? Is this am I just the muse for the fake relationship you have in your head? Or am I a real person that you actually want to have a real connection with? You know what I mean? That's where we're at. Divine feminine, what are you actually doing? Being selfish. This is the 9 of Cups. I'm being selfish. I'm taking care of me. I'm keeping my feelings to myself because I'm not going to share them with somebody who is not going to be able to share them with me. So I'm keeping my feelings to myself. But I've got to say that what I do wish is that I could experience this lighthearted feeling with you. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep things light. Just fill my cup. Indulge in the things that bring me pleasure. Fulfill my own wishes and needs. You're just standing there, man. You're not doing anything. If you're going to be selfish, then I'm going to be selfish. And I don't know how you can fault me for that because I'm really just reflecting back your energy to you. I don't know what you want me to do. Then what is going to create harmony for this divine masculine? What is actually going to create harmony for this divine masculine energy? Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. We have the Six of Pentacles. What is going to create harmony is if this masculine energy actually gives back in a significant way to the divine feminine. That is the only thing that will create harmony. And there has to be an equal give and take. There can't be one cup filled and one empty, and then this person has to pour into that cup in order to fill the other person. So the divine masculine, in order to create happiness, harmony, must give back to the feminine energy. Must. No more breadcrumbs. Divine feminine, what will create more harmony for you in what you're saying, thinking, feeling, and doing? We have the Knight of Pentacles. This is the energy of being solid, being stable, being reliable. Going forward one step at a time. Slow motion, making progress, day after day, one foot in front of the other, even when it's hard. Really allowing yourself to understand that this is what has been happening the whole time. It feels like you're not moving, but you're moving. You are moving. You are going in a positive direction. You're leaving this darkness behind and you are heading into the light. This is an absolute positive place for you to be in. If you can embrace that the slow moving energy that really has been quite torturous for you is something that has served you well, you will be able to move much faster in the Chariot energy of this week. It may be slow, but it is steady, and you are really heading in the right direction. You're heading towards your wish fulfillment, right? You're heading towards your wish fulfillment here. So what is the happiness potential in this connection? We have the King of Cups with the feminine energy represented as the king. This is coming out for the masculine energy. And we have, not surprisingly, the Four of Swords coming out for the divine feminine energy. You can see here on the back of the card, there are these four swords on the wall. And when we look out here, we see that those thoughts are blocking their ability to actually deal with what's going on outside of the safe place where they find themselves squirreled away here. So it's interesting because the happiness potential, each one thinks rests with the other. The masculine energy thinks that the happiness potential rests with the feminine energy, and the feminine energy thinks that the happiness potential rests with the masculine energy. Both of them are wanting to hear from the other. So the masculine energy is remaining silent and not speaking. And because of that, the feminine energy is remaining silent and not speaking. And the masculine energy wants the feminine energy to take the lead in expressing her emotions. That's why we are getting a King of Cups energy. He wants her to stop basically skimming the surface of her emotions and go deeply into them and like move with this ship here. The ship, like, move the connection along that way. And the feminine wants the divine masculine to knock on the door and ask her. If you both may be stuck in that cycle because both of you are too stubborn to move. The feminine feels they're in the right. The masculine feels wounded. And there's almost no way out of that. So hopefully these oracles are going to bring us a way out of this energy, because you have to basically either swallow your pride and reach out yourself, or surrender to the idea that this person that you've been focused on will remain in that stagnant energy with you, and it's best for you to move on. Okay, so what would the divine masculine energy say to the feminine? Open to infinite possibility. So the divine masculine is saying, please open up to the possibility of this connection. Let's hear the words that this energy would say. It is number 59. And the masculine energy would say, as I look out toward the horizon, no, actually, let me take that back. Stretched out on the beach, the starfish opens fully to the rays of the sun, to the power of potential. As you look out toward the horizon, do you open up to infinite possibility, divine feminine? Spirit is the source of opportunities beyond our wildest imagination and ensures endless possibilities are available. I am urging you to stretch past the limits of your everyday perception and comfort zone, to dream of bigger things and imagine with even greater hope and faith, for miraculous potential is shining down on us. Feel it, bask in it, and open yourself to be filled with inspiration. This is a very fortunate sign, and I have come to remind you of your infinite potential. So this divine masculine is like, please be open to this connection. Please open the door so that I can come in and communicate with you. The masculine energy is also getting, so we're doing one seed and one sickle. We've got feverfew, number 28. If you are somebody who wants to know about timing, this is a card that would be early fall, like September. It says, something unwanted is coming your way and you'd be best advised to avoid it. So this person, okay, so this is how this person has behaved. The masculine energy has looked at something, a potential good. When they open themselves up to something, they fear that it is actually going to be something unwanted and that they would need to avoid it. It says, the bitterness of feverfew is enough to keep rats and other pests from the door, so learn from its defenses. Don't surrender your progress for the sake of being nice. Be ready to protect yourself and everything that you've worked for. Some things are worth a fight. So those are all the different meanings that are coming through here. For me, this is showing me that the divine masculine has an understanding that there is bitterness here between you because of the past experiences you've had, and that you perceive them as something unwanted that's coming your way, and that they fear that you will avoid it. And this is why they want you to be open to possibility. And the September timeline for me is not necessarily that they will do something in September, because my feeling for this person that is in this divine masculine energy is that if it were up to them, it would always be later. It would always be in September. It would always be in the season that's just coming. It would always be, because there is this, what they're asking you to do. Remember, every judgment is a confession. So if they're saying to the feminine energy, I need you to be open, what they're really saying is, I'm closed. Like, I'm closed. I've been closed off. And I am afraid to open up to you unless I get some reassurance that you're open to me. And then they're floating this like future timeline thing, which is honestly a way for them to be avoidant. And we already know that they're doing that because this is where they are in their feelings in the King of Swords. So if your person is doing that, you are doing that. You have to figure out where you're doing it in your life. It's not necessarily going to be in regards to another person. It may be in regards to your work, to your bills, to your... I'm anxious avoidant with money. So my person, the attachment, the way that my person acts towards me, I act that way towards money. So find where it is that you need to where you're saying to yourself, be open, but really you're closing yourself off, because that is the secret for you to get through this stagnancy in this connection with this person. Because this is an existential kink for you. You actually like this. You actually like it, which is why it's happening. You like it because it's familiar. You like it because it reminds you of something that you've already had to overcome or control. You gotta figure that out. Okay, Divine Feminine, what would you say to the masculine energy? We have a scarab beetle, which I keep seeing lately. The magic works through you would be your message to the divine masculine. So yeah, magic exists. It exists whether you're here or not, but it only works when it is actually being channeled through the material, right? This would be number 52. Ooh. In ancient Egypt, the scarab beetle was revered, for the creative magic of scarab beetle reminds us that we can bring forth something extraordinary, seemingly out of thin air. Divine masculine, whenever you let your creativity flow through you, I remind you that Spirit has given you the gift of infinite potential. You said open up to potential, open up to possibility. You have an ally as you fashion something new or repurpose the old. For Spirit co-creates with us, channeling energy through us so that we feel replenished and vitalized as we make magic with what is at hand. Now is a time for great optimism, for we can accomplish anything we desire, and our endeavors, our creative endeavors, will come to fruition. Miracles, opportunities, abundance, and love will appear seemingly out of nowhere as we allow Spirit to work through us and magically manifest what we need. Did you hear Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine? Because she is like, we're in this together, right? She's also getting this Wisteria card. So let's see what this represents for her in terms of timing. It's number 4. That's the springtime. That's now. It's like we're right about to hit the solstice. Wisteria are slow to set out their leaves in spring, waiting until the weather is perfect before jumping to life. Drawing this card is a reminder to trust your instincts and listen to your inner voice before making a decision. There is power in stillness and in waiting. It may feel like others are rushing ahead in their endeavors, but you will know when the time is right for you to act. And that's so interesting, because that was how to create more harmony, was to understand that, you know, you were moving. It may feel like you're not moving, but you are making progress. And sometimes waiting for something is making progress. And I've never gotten that note before, or that particular message before, but I hear that. This is also for me, Divine Feminine, saying to this masculine that there is no perfect time. I heard that today. You're never going to be ready. That's why the energy of the card being in September, it's like, bro, what is really going to change in September? Your mindset? Do you think by then your mindset will have changed? Because when you get to September, do you know what will happen? If in your mind you think that you need time for your mindset to change, needing time for your mindset to change is your new mindset. So when you get to September, you're like, oh, I'm at September. My mindset should have changed by now. But it didn't, because I need time to change my mindset. So you keep setting yourself up. You keep perpetuating this constant like, well, okay, I'll do that in September, or I'll do that then, or I'll do this. But it's really just a way to avoid just sitting in yourself and being in yourself right now, just being who you are right now. You're like getting ready for the future self, because in your mind the current self is not legit. And you feel you're like, well, I love myself, and you do like you've definitely worked on all that stuff. This is not about like you not loving yourself. It's genuinely just a mindset shift. The feminine is like wisteria already is blooming, okay? In the spring, wisteria blooms early in the spring. It's already happened. There's no need to project this like when I have this, when I have that, when I have this. I can see like the dynamic with my person who's a very busy person. This busy person, like I'm not, but very busy person, has to travel everywhere, has these obligations like I don't, kind of an energy. And like, well, when I'm done with this obligation, I'm planning something. I'm making time for us. I'm planning this is going to happen. When this happens, when this happens, when this happens, when this happens. I met this person in person for the first time in 2008. So, and I've been ready for that person since 2008. And I'm not even going to sit here and be like, oh no, I needed to go through all this healing in order to be ready. I did not. I was ready in that exact moment. I was perfectly imperfect just then. That person was perfectly imperfect just then. And we could have been successful together in that moment. You don't need to tell the story of like, oh, well, I did all this stuff now and now it's better, because all you're doing is reinforcing the reality where you have to keep perfecting yourself and healing yourself in order to be, but you're already healed and perfect. Anything else is the illusion. So reject that illusion. It is not real. It feels real. But because if it didn't, you wouldn't play the game. You wouldn't feel convinced. You'd be in uncanny valley and you wouldn't be like, ugh, I don't like this game. So it feels real, but it isn't. All right, last few cards. I said we did have a lot of oracles for today. I was feeling generous. We've got Wallflower. Look at this person with their hands over their mouth. No one is talking here. Nobody wants to talk first. Nobody wants to talk first. I did my part. I'm done. I'm done talking. That's the vibe I'm getting. This card says, oh, there you are. I almost didn't notice you blending into that wall there. You have made it to the party. Now get up off that wall, mingle, dance, and find joy. I know sometimes it might be hard meeting new people coming out of your introverted shell while trying not to be seen. But you never know, you might meet someone interesting, have a good laugh, or dance until you sweat. At least you can say you got off the wall and gave it a try. The reverse of this card says, are you so afraid to be seen you do not take any chances? Are you feeling unworthy, scared, shy? Everyone goes through this at one time or another. Perhaps you need to take baby steps away from your comfort zone of the wall, and that is okay. Everyone at their own speed. But remember to at least try life to the fullest. Okay, everybody stop being a wallflower. This is 22 also, so 2's representing choices and the feeling of like it is your choice to remain silent. And it is your person's choice to remain silent. And you can either choose to sit in silence with your person, or you can choose to express your discomfort with that. Or if you don't have a way to do that because there is not an open line of communication between the two of you, then you would probably need to express that to a therapist, a spiritual counselor, a friend. Write it in a letter and burn it. And then after you did that, you would want to go out into the world and you would want to meet new people and you would want to keep talking and you would want to look for people who are also wanting to keep talking and believe that they are there because you're the one that's doing this right now. You're doing that. So don't do that. Garuda Suparna is the energy of the eagle here. And I am going to read this card. These are long cards. I will say that ahead before I read it. Where did I put it though? Oh, there it is. It is number 42. We did get 42 the other day. It says, cultivate confidence in yourself. You have the inner spiritual power to deal wisely and effectively with any situation. Don't allow anyone to take advantage of your kind nature. Reflect upon what action feels best for you to take, and then follow through with decisiveness. Do not allow negativity to get a grip in your life. Positive energy and outcomes are indicated. So I am going to record the meditation for this card, and I will post that meditation on my passes.com/pearlsprayers. So if you want to go do the full meditation, that will be available later today. And then the self-care card for this week is 44. So we had 22 and now we have 44, and it is sex. Yes. Okay. So the self-care this week that you need to do is this. And if you're like, I need a partner for that, then I'm sorry for you, because I don't need a partner for that. And, this can also be the energy of creating something. So you could create something or make something, craft something. But really, this is probably about you and your body having a good time. The mantra is, I am experiencing the cosmic orgasm. There is a deep well of joy, bliss, and healing available to us through sex when it is treated as a sacred experience of divine union. To achieve the deepest states of pleasure and connection, we must have an open heart and body, trust, and be able to hold the frequency of pure presence. Tune into your body's innate wisdom to uncover what kind of sexual experience or lover you would like to call in. Through this reflection, acknowledge your sexual history and be honest with yourself about any limiting beliefs, blocks, or traumas you need to work through. If there is a lot to unpack here, you may need to seek the support of a professional. As you grow comfortable exploring your own body and your lover's body, as well as expressing your unique essence, desires, and emotions, you will find additional layers of pleasure. Sex is one of the most incredible ways to cultivate your potent life force energy, also known as Kundalini or Shakti, which you can channel into all areas of your life. The journal prompt is, what kind of sexual experience would you like to call into your life? And to that I would say, any sexual experience I would like to call in. Like, I'm not even picky at this point, bitch. Like, something. It's dry over here. Okay. That is your Friday love reading, which got postponed until Saturday, but I hope that you enjoyed it. Please go pre-save that track. It's totally free to do that. And when you do that, it does help when I release my new song next Friday. Also, consider that my readings right now on my site, an intuitive guidance call, is 50% off. And I'm still doing that thing for the limited time when I'm only going to give this to 10 people who purchase this. After the 10 people purchase this, it's done. But when you purchase for a limited time right now, you get 2 sessions for half price. So it's 50% off, and that is 2 sessions that you're getting, which means it's 75% off both sessions. So please, please, please go take advantage of that. And when you do that, I will be making a donation in your name, if you would like me to my friend Saliha's campaign, so that she can survive in her apartment until her job starts in July, because she is in need and she needs some help. If you want to donate directly to her campaign, or if you want to donate directly to me, those links are available at the link in my profile. You can see Saliha's GoFundMe there, the place where you save my track, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. For those of you that want to purchase a reading this morning, I have a few. I could probably do maybe 1 or 2 deeper readings. So if somebody wants to do that, send Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, $22 to that link. And for those of you that would prefer to have a private video recorded reading sent, you can see that I do have 2 options available at that same link. There is the yes or no, which is like a 1 question, or the it's called video reading. That one you can just ask as many questions as you want, or you can ask for the Tell Me Everything spread, and I will give you that, or any of the spreads I have. Some people know my older ones, Release and Rebuild, Obstacles Removed. You know it if you've purchased before. And thank you so much in advance to all of you who have done the things already to share and like and subscribe and comment, and I just really appreciate that so much. So thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow for the week ahead reading, either tomorrow or Monday. Since I had to push this forward, I might give myself some more time tomorrow, but we'll see. You will get your week ahead energy though. Don't worry.